Magic cards, magic cards, magic cards for kids. Oh yeah!
I want to do a follow-up video to the two openings that we had of the Fat Packs with Peachy and the Bug. What I'd like to do is kind of give you an idea of what a case of Fat Packs looks like, and if it looks like you get more Mythics, and what the variety looks like. And I want to talk a little bit about the art from Ikoria too as well, and maybe some things, other things too that has come up. But what you see on the table right now are basically all of the cards that we opened up. So there's 6, obviously in the case, there's 6 Fat Packs. Each Fat Pack has 10 packs in each Fat Pack, or yeah, actually they're called bundles now. I think I'm dating myself calling them Fat Packs. So you get a total of, doing the math, right? I think if I'm doing the math correctly, you get a total of 60 packs. So it's a little bit less than 2 boxes. So if you go by the typical 5 Mythics per box, you should get somewhere around 8 to 9 Mythics. So here, over here, you can see on the side here are the Mythics that were pulled. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just a little bit, slightly over maybe the average or right at the average. What I did notice is that they do have quite a bit of variety were in these packs. Now, I generally don't see that as much. We did get a double of the General Kudrow. But as you can see here, there was a Luca, that was in Peachy's video, we pulled this one. A Winota, right? I mean, obviously some of these cards are getting a lot of play in Arena, but there was quite a few alternate art Mythics, as well as I did get an alternate art foil too as well of Brokos. So as you can see, there's some really nice ones, and then there's an alternate art Narset too as well. So some really nice ones that we pulled. So again, 9 out of 6 Fat Packs. I think really, to be honest with you, if you get anything more than 1 per Fat Pack, so anything more than 6, I think is good. But we were able to get 9, as you can see here. What you also see over here is the companion cards. We did get quite a few companion cards. I was hoping to pull a little bit more Garudas because I put a paper Magic deck together with Garuda that I play with my family, just kitchen table Magic. So I need 3 or 4 of those, but I only got 1 of them. But you can see here that I did get 3 Lorises, which obviously are getting a lot of play. Duplicate of the Obosh and Zirda, who really hasn't. I haven't seen much, getting much play. Yumori has been getting a little bit of play. In fact, you can put a Yumori, I think, in a Garuda deck. But all in all, what did I get? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So 11 companion cards, which are obviously the hot cards. Interestingly enough, only 4 of the Tri-lands, which was not a lot. I was surprised. I thought maybe we'd get a little bit more out of 60, but it is what it is. I did pull the Ozolith, which has been seeing a little bit of play too as well. And then the foil one. So I did get a Gem Razor foil alternate art. I did get a Song of Creation, and what is that? Dirge Bat? I say it. Dringe Bat? I don't know how to say it. So, but I did get a duplicate too as well in the alternate foil. One of the things that I did notice, though, too, is that a lot of the rares, there was a lot of duplicates. So, as you can see here, I actually got, out of the 60 packs, I got a full play set of the Offspring's Revenge. And then of the Emergent Ultimatum, I got 3 of those. Colossification, 3 of those. Mythos of what I was calling it before, what I call it, Spandex, Snaptax, 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 of those. And then duplicates of some of these other ones too as well. So there was quite a bit of duplication in the Fat Packs in a case, an unopened case. So I mean, I guess it is what it is. But there was also quite a bit of alternate art, which is pretty cool. So I do like seeing the alternate art, both in the in all the different commons, uncommons, and rares. Did get a few foils too as well, which are nice. again, all the different alternate arts that you can see here. So, but what I do notice too is that with the fat packs or the bundles, the card stocks are actually much nicer. I believe these are made in Belgium. So let me see here. If I take a look, I believe these are. Oh, this actually says made in the USA. Die manufactured in China. I believe at one point they were manufactured in Belgium. I think they have a plant there, so maybe some of them you can get them in. But these were made in the USA. I have noticed that the card stock, they're shinier and they're smoother. They feel much nicer than generally the ones that you get in the booster packs. Now I have to tell you, I have not opened up any booster packs yet. I haven't gotten them yet. I haven't gotten my boxes yet. I only got the fat packs and the collector booster box. But unfortunately, I haven't gotten the regular ones. But what I've noticed in opening the fat packs versus the bundles versus the boxes is that the cards are just so much nicer and almost waxier, is I would say, waxier than when they come out of the bundles versus coming out of the booster boxes. So I do like the feel of these. It's easier to shuffle through and to take a look at them. I mean, I do put all of my cards in penny sleeves eventually, but for now, as I'm looking through them, I think it's just a lot nicer, a lot easier to handle. So anyway, there was a few things. The one thing I do like, and certainly Peachy really loves the theme of this set of Ikoria, with there being so many creatures, and she's such an animal lover. We talk about our dog, our puppy that we adopted, and she just adores her, and she really fancies herself, as an animal lover. I think she wants to be. She's 7 years old. But she wants to be a veterinarian. And that is right now, but a lot of schooling, obviously, so got to focus on that. But she does love the theme of a lot of the animals that are in here. And I did notice that I put a set of some of the artwork that I wanted to talk a little bit about here, and talk a little bit about some of the cards that I pulled out that I thought were relatively interesting. So the first one is the squirrel, which is the Helica Glider. I read an article, I think it was, you can take a look on the Wizards of the Coast, the Magic the Gathering website. Somebody was talking about, I don't think it was Rosewater or one of the developers, who said that they, after a certain set, I don't remember which set it was, that they stopped printing squirrels because it was an image thing. And so he was very partial to squirrels, so he was really psyched that he was able to squeeze this in. So we haven't had squirrels since, I don't know, it's been almost 15 years, I believe. But I do know that I play with my brother, and he's got a squirrel deck that generates squirrel tokens, and some reason it's certainly a janky deck, but it beats me every time, it seems like. So that's a pretty cool story there. This is one I'm going to say, spoiler alert, if you are reading the flavor. And you're reading about Ikoria, go ahead and cover your ears, because I am going to have a little bit of a spoiler here. But this was the card that kind of made me a little bit upset. So if you know anything about the story, I did find out. I didn't read it, but I did find out that they do kill off Luca's companion that he is connected to. And I just thought it was, I didn't like that. I thought they should have kept... it just was upsetting to me. So this card is just one in terms of flavor that it just really makes me upset. So I won't ruin too much of the story, but once you understand that, I think you understand what I'm talking about. This Cunning Nightbonder. The reason I had this in here is I want to see if anybody can put in the comments section. This reminds me of a card, and I was looking it up and I couldn't find it. I thought it was a Shadowmoor card. That was two hybrid, both a blue and a black. I thought it was a human rogue, a 2/2, and it looked very similar to this card. I believe her hands are like this, and she's kind of like, standing there. But it looks a lot like this card, and I couldn't find it. If anyone can do that, can figure that out, I think it would be cool if you can put it in the text. But I swore that it was a 2/2 hybrid, black and blue mana that was a human rogue that was very similar to that. So I swear I have it in some of my decks from back then. So that was pretty cool. This one I thought was interesting because when you look at it, it reminds me a lot of the some of the. Let me pull it out here if I can find it. Some of the Mythos or the Mythos, right? As you can see here, you know, it's a lot. I don't know if it's supposed to be cave art or if it's supposed to be, if these are actually supposed to be is this an actual drawing or is it actually real? But I thought this was pretty cool where you have this kind of this cave art or this fossil that's kind of being, you can see towards the end, it's kind of turning into these birds that are flying away. I just thought it was just an interesting art on that one to go hand in hand with those Mythos cards. But what I also noticed here is anticipate. Does anyone know what this reminds me of, or reminds you of? It reminds me of from Cold Snap, the what is it called, the Boreal Druid. I think it looks a lot like it. Obviously not exactly the same, but the picture does, and it just struck my fancy about that. So I thought this one was kind of funny with the art. I mean, look, if you were drafting in the NFL, I think you'd pick him up. I mean, that's a perfect tackle. He's just getting absolutely crushed. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. This one too, I thought was really funny. Just just a beam of light. He looks like he's just casually walking up and shooting a laser right through this guy. I just thought that was kind of funny. This one, like I said, we adopted a puppy not too long ago, and this just reminds me of when she's out and going to take a poop, and I just thought that was actually pretty funny. I was looking at that, I was like, was that? I don't know, but that's what it reminds me. It looks like it to me, so I thought that was funny. Here's another one which I thought was interesting. Peachy and I were taking a look at this, and we thought, or I think it was the bug and I, we thought that this was absolutely upside down, right? Because when you look at it, it almost looks like these are like mountaintops or buildings on top of mountains, and I was like, man, he's upside down, right? I mean, it's plummet, so he's obviously he or she's falling to the ground, but when you turn it upside down, that actually looks a lot better of a picture, but these are actually balloons, so I thought that was an interesting art too as well. Peachy really loves this one, and the reason why I was showing this one for the art is I do believe, is this the same creature in Arena for one of your pets that you can have when you picked up the Ikoria bundle? I believe it's the Frostlynx is one of the cats that you can actually have as a youngling. And then there were two particular sets of cards that I picked out that were kind of before and after pictures, right? So here's one. I said, that looks familiar. Who is that? Look how little that guy is. But then you have him. I thought that was pretty interesting. So how the roles have reversed there, and I think that's why it says fully grown here, right? So I think this is the before, obviously, and this is the after. So picked up on that. And then these two. Also, I think you almost like a freeze frame, right, or second frame, right? They're kind of hanging out, and then they're hugging in the next one. But those two, I realized that these kind of cards were a little bit of a set. So, anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about the art, kind of what's going on with the set, and if it's actually better to go and buy fat packs. Now, the one thing about the fat packs I will say in closing is that, like I'd mentioned, you're paying about, if you buy a case, it's about between $175 and $200. So when you look at that and you break it down, you're paying, close to, usually over $100 per 36 packs. So it's a little bit more expensive. Obviously, you get, a little bit more here. You get these, which for me are great because that's where I store all my cards. You get some dice, which is pretty cool. And then there's some other things too that you get that you don't get from a regular booster box. But is it worth it? I would say if you were getting 15 Mythics, maybe it's worth it. But if you're getting really close to the average, it's not worth going that route versus not going with the booster box. I particularly do it because I store all my cards in fat packs, just what I like to do. So I've been doing it ever since I started, and so that's kind of the thing that that's just kind of my thing. So anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments, like I mentioned about the cunning. I believe it's called, what is it called? The cunning night bonder. I swear, I thought it was like a cunning guild mage or cunning assassin or something. And I even think it was a human rogue, but when I looked it up, I could not find it. So yeah, appreciate your help. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the content. Let me know if you can come up with that name, and appreciate it. Talk to you soon.